get me somewhere.
Okay, bear with me, trying to do two things at once. We're in the middle of pasteurizing my first attempt at a sour beer, so this is beginner's guide to doing that, I guess. My pH, here we go, better camera angle. pH changed a couple times. I think it was due to my battery. It ended up the past few days hovering around 4 in the pH, and I was hoping to get around 3.6, but since yesterday and today, it's been raising. It raised up to around 4.2 or something today, or 4.5. It's doing something weird for me. So I tasted it, and I've been just keeping an eye on the taste, and I like it. It's different than what the other beers downstairs are going to be, and we're going to roll with it. But like you do after... Oh, she made it on camera. She was trying not to. Alright, anyway, we are currently trying to kill off all the bacteria. So you basically, the way that I've read, and well, this may work for you if you do this small thing, is you just bring your wort to a boil. You can see it's going through another hop break, even though this has already done it. It's kind of interesting, actually. But I'm going to let that boil for about 3 minutes. Wow. I have no idea why this is doing it. Okay, hang on. We have a mess waiting to happen here. Okay, anyways, I'll give you a little update on how this is going to be fermenting now the next little while. I'm going to put Nottingham in it, I think, or SO4. We're going to find out, but I got to deal with a little bit of messy boil over possibilities. I have no idea why we got this massive secondary hop break going. Maybe someone else can chime in. So wish me luck. Updates on the way. Going to ferment it normal now after I pitch the yeast when this cools down. So here we go. Alright, so a little update. I made a mistake in the first part of the video, and just to let you know a little bit more in case it's the first time you clicked on it. My pH, the way I soured this, in case anyone's just watching this now, I took a handful of Munich kernels before I did my grinder the other day, and I separated off just 2 liters of wort. There's 3 liters to begin with. I boiled it off with a separate hop regimen than my previous beer because you need a really low or negligible, like no hops for to get the souring technique to take effect. So I just added 1 gram of hops just so I wouldn't have to reboil this with hops and deal with it at a later date, because I don't really care about the hoppy profile of this. I just wanted to try my hand at sour kettling. So, or kettle sour. So what you do is you just take a handful of the Munich grain, make sure everything is sanitized, all fermenters, everything, at least you'll have a chance at having this turn out, because there are some downfalls. And I tossed them into the wort after just, I believe it was a half hour of a boil, and I placed the fermenter and these with the grains into a warmer area than what I normally do. I kept it at around 24 degrees. You can go hotter. They say around 100 degrees Fahrenheit is optimal for regards to getting this to take off. But you just need to be careful, because there are things that can go wrong. Like, there's really disgusting words that are thrown around for the horror stories of this, of flavors of vomit, I believe stinky feet, things like that, right? There's just weird bugs that might be on the grains that you're using. So it's always better to go with straight strains that you can buy at your home brew store. Very knowledgeable people, they'll help you out and just basically steer you in the right direction. But my souring went okay from what I can tell. Started off with a pH of 5.49. It dropped down below 3.95, and I was hoping to get down to 3.6. That's around your Berliner Weisses and things like that, even though this is a dark beer, which I'm just trying to sour, just to say that I did it. But with that being said, it dropped down to 3.9, and then it started rising back up. So I assumed the process that it was going through was done. So what I had to do after that, the right way of doing it, I hope, is I pasteurized the wort, which is what you seen in the beginning of the video. Strangely, I had that second hot break. It was cool to watch. Really got me perplexed why it happened, because I already had a hot break when I did my original boil on this. But anyways, have it chilling. I'm going to pitch some Nottingham with it. I had some SO4, but I want this to be as clean as I can just to see what the tastes are like. My thoughts on it so far, it's a mild mild type beer that I have made my own recipe for, which I like. And the chocolate malt seems to be really accentuated by this, but it's strange because there's a sourness to it and then there's the chocolate. So I'm excited to see how this turns out, but be very careful if you decide to go down this road. I'm going to let you know if mine goes wrong, but it's a crapshoot. It's why I've always been nervous of trying the sour beer. If you have any questions, I'll try to help. But there are a lot of smarter people out there than me. I just like at this stuff. All right. Anyways, I'll keep you guys posted. Gonna pitch in a bit and let it ride. Updates in the future.